Hello, my name is Olusegun with C2 Energy AIM Global Nigeria. My company has a system where you can share in the company's profits in a residual income scheme. And this you would be able to do without buying, without selling anything, or without doing any looking for anybody yourself. So I'm going to, before in terms of letting us know where we are right now and where we plan to be in probably in the next 7 years. So this is going to be information part. So I want you to take your time, listen through, and try to understand where I'm coming from and then where I intended to take you. So let's go there. So this piece of information I'm going to share is very important to know where we are and where we are going, because the trend is already there. So if you can follow where we are, it's easy to predict where we're going. Now, this is UN and World Economic Forum last economic meltdown in 2008 that happened, and many businesses will become folded because of this economic chaos. And then, so in this 2008, the UN has already predicted that another global recession is coming, and it's going to be the worst of the worst. If you look at the trend in the fuel, because I use the fuel price as an economic index to understand how the economy is. Now look at it. In 2010, the price of fuel is 65 naira per liter. And then in 2013, it is 100 naira per liter. In 2016, it is 145 naira per liter, and so on and so. If you look at it, it means every 3 years, you have this kind of increase in the prices of fuel, meaning things becomes more expensive, inflation becomes even more. And as the year rolls by, expenses keep increasing. Because if you have children, the children are growing up, you are sending your children from primary to secondary school, from secondary school to university. It means you're spending money. You're spending more money. You're growing older as your children are growing older. Now, understand this. It means the only factor that must also increase as the expenses is increasing and as the inflation is increasing is the income. Now, we should ask ourselves a question. Is our income increasing the same way the inflation is increasing? Now, if you are being paid 100,000 naira in 2010, it means by the time you are in 2013, you should be paid 200,000 naira. But if you are not being paid 200,000 naira, or if you have not increased your source of income, if you have not doubled the source of income in 2013, then there's a problem. And look at the trend. As it increases, is your source of income also increasing? If the answer is no, then there is a problem. That is why people are clamoring for increase in salary, increase in wages. But who is doing that? I see here today, people are seeing earning 30,000 naira in a month. A man with family, wife and children, is still earning 30,000 naira. As of 2023, this is madness. Now, if you look at it very well now, this is 2023. The fuel is now 600 naira per liter. What do you think is going to happen in 2027 and then 2030? If you look at the trend, there is no need for you to deceive yourself, even though the politicians are deceiving you. But the trend shows for itself that the fuel price keep increasing. Measure that against what the UN is saying, that there is going to be a global recession. In fact, they specifically mentioned 2023 as the year where the global recession will start becoming even more dangerously alarming. And have we not seen that already? Okay. Now, follow me here. So, which means, as if you want to cope with the trend, you must find a way to add to your income. If you're a salary earner, you must find another way where you can make sure that you have another stream of income added to your own. You must have to find a way. There is just no other way you can go about it. There is no other way you can go about it. So now that we know the situation on ground and we know we all can agree that there's no other way but to increase our source of income. If you're a salary earner, you just have to find a way to get another source, or find a way to let them increase or double your salary, or just find an alternative outside, something that can be fetching you an extra income so that you can double or triple what you are taking home every month. And so what are the ways we can go about that? What are the ways? In the actual fact, the ways we have can be categorized into two. One is, we start with the one. One is very nefarious, evil, and for those of us who are very religious, a sin, sinful and ungodly, and should be avoided. These are the ways, and people are doing it. Those are people who don't care, like Yahoo Plus, like 419 scam, like money ritual, like armed robbery, like corruption. If you are interested in any one of these ways, you won't be listening to my video because it won't make any sense to you. Because you already have your eyes on this way of getting by or increasing the income. So therefore, it won't make any sense to you for anybody to tell you anything else. And so you can just stop the video and just don't bother. Continue to listen to what I have to say, because it will not make any sense to you. But if you're like those who still believe that there is a better way, a godly way, a righteous way to do things, then these are the options that is open for you. Like now you have a salary job. You have to look for it. You probably ask for an increment in the salary that you're being paid. You go to your worker, tell them, look, the economy is like this. You can see the price of oil has tripled. So therefore you have to double my salary or triple my salary. Well, that may be a little bit difficult because if you may not really be able to do that. So therefore, and then you may have to change jobs. Well, can you change jobs in a way where you cannot even find? You know that even the job that you're complaining that the salary is too small, there are people who are seriously praying to get that same job. So that may be a little bit difficult. Now, we now come across the contract. Can we get contract? How many people can you see? How many contracts are out there? And there are so many things involved in contract, and then you have to have the experience to be able to do these things. And how can you even go about it? How can you even see someone who is doing it? So it's not something you can just wake up and say, okay, I want to start doing. I want to get myself into the contract business. It's not that easy. Also, we have politics. Politics is something you all know how it is. If your man, the person you are supporting with your money and time, doesn't get the appointment, doesn't get into the position of power, then everything is gone. So you have prayer. Yes, this is the easier one. This is the easiest one to do. You commit our work to God. Then you pray and pray. And we've been praying since 2010. You know, we've been praying since 2010. Nigerians can pray. We can pray. Since 2010 that the fuel price is 65 naira per liter, we've been praying. And most of the time, people come with testimony. House rent was due. I met someone that gave me 200,000 naira. Fine. But 200,000 naira, is it every day? So business is something, a knowledge that should have been instilled in every child, every growing child, right from the kindergarten age. This is it. Because I've seen an Igbo man come to Lagos with nylon bag, and within 7 years, he now has a house in Lagos, bought a land, built a house in Lagos, while a salary earner who went to all the schools, who doesn't know anything about business, is still there renting an apartment. Do you see the difference? I will use my mom. My mom is a teacher. She has a house right now. She didn't build it with the money, with a salary. She built it with the money she invested in business. She gathered money together. She started a business, a buying and selling business. And today, she's a proud owner of a house. So no matter what can thrive in a recession is this: business. No matter how bad, there will still be money for people to buy things and to sell things. So now I hope I've made it clear that business is the only way for the common man if you want to increase our income. If we want to double or triple our income, business is the only way. And is it too late? Well, I beg to differ. Because to God's children, nothing is too late. To God's children, nothing is too late. Okay, so now, what do we need to start up a business? Let's just look at it. You could just follow me here. I'm going somewhere with this, but I'm trying to expand your mind. These are things I wish I was told when I was in primary school. And the same story is for every one of us. Okay, so now what do we need to set up a business? Okay, if you are going to set up a business, so you have a product or service. Product or services. So you have product or services. You have to have a shop or warehouse. You have to have location, and you have to have a way of advertising your location and advertising your products. Okay, so people must know where you are. People must know what you do, what you sell, what you provide. Okay, and then you have mentorship. So mentorship is key in the success of any business. Mentorship makes sure that all these things actually produce a positive, amazing result. Because mentorship is a person. This person has a successful business. Over time, you understood all the pros and cons, and it will take you step by step, guide you to success. So this mentorship is key to this, because if you have the money, because after all these things, you need one more thing. You need the money. You now need the money. Money combine these things. Money. Even with the money, without this success, without the mentorship, there will be no success. There will be no success without this guy. This man is the key to making all these things become successful. This is the key. You don't have it, it's a waste of time. It's a waste of money. And we've seen people who dabbled into business and they wreck today. Why? We see people who open shops and then before you know it, it's gone. You have to have all these things in place and have the money to do it. Then have a mentor to guide you. This is the key to a successful business. Now, the point is this. Even if you have the product in mind, the warehouse, everything else, do you have the money? But when you get the money, if you're lucky, if you pray and somebody just drop 10 million into your account, or probably 5 million. If you now say, okay, I have 5 million, meaning you are halfway there. You have 5 million, then you sit down and look for a product that is moving, that people are buying. Then you look for a warehouse. You have to pray over all these things. You pray over the product that you want to do so that God will give you the inspiration for the best one. You pray over the shop or location. You pray over the other. Then you look for a mentor. Somebody who is in that business before. You sit with the person. Even if you have to pay the person, you do so. The person will guide you to success. That is how it is done. But those who have failed in business, they failed because they didn't follow through with this person. And that is why they failed. So you understand what I'm saying? Now I've told you, I've mentioned that business is the way. And if you want to have that business, you have this. Now, if you don't have any of this, there's no way you can succeed. Let me put it to you. There is no way you can succeed. It's fact. If you have 12 million today, and you don't put in into all these things I mentioned, there is no, the success rate is slim. It's very slim. I've seen big women, I've seen mamas who told me they have big shop before. Today, there's no more. If you don't follow through all these things, you're bound to fail. So now that we know that, okay, to deal with the problem what we're talking about, remember what we're saying, that the economic crisis, the price of fuel has made it difficult for us to meet the daily needs, to take care of our family, to go on holidays, to travel, to buy things for our family, to make them celebrate and be happy. All these things have become more difficult because prices of things have gone up, price of petrol have gone up, and yet our income remains the same. This is giving people high blood pressure, sleepless nights, giving men who have families sleepless nights. And now I'm providing a solution. There is always a way. Don't let anybody tell you there's no way. There is always a way. Then how can you still go ahead? Now, that is where my company comes in. The company I work with, this is where we come in. So, but now, so far, before I move into that stage, I want you to make up your mind and say, okay, do you really think there's a problem? Do you really think, okay, you are satisfied that you are ready to just hang in there, wait for 2027? Remember, this is 2020. The price was 185 naira per liter. We know the cost of things at that time. Now, this is 2023, 600 naira per liter, 3 years later. What do you think is going to happen 3 years later, 4 years later, in 2027? Do you think the price will remain the same? Tell yourself the truth. Tell yourself, look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself whether this price will remain the same. Judging by the trend from here, you can see from 2010, it's increasing every 3 years. Something is always happening. Do you think it's going to be different in 2027? I can give you a suggestion. This price may fall a little bit, just to make you feel better. But it will not go back. That 720 that they're talking about, the market dynamic is forcing the price of that fuel to go to 700 and something. If not now, is it in 2027? Then what's going to happen 3 years after 2027? Then what are we going to be doing now? So now, do you want to wait till 2027 and see what will happen? Or you take action today? So I've gone through what I've tried to explain. If you really want a better life, if you really want to step out of the trouble that the economy of Nigeria is in right now, you want to be assured that come 2027 and come 2030, that you have a solid plan. Then you need to take the action today. But if you feel that if you want to make a decision like every other person who doesn't care, that okay, well, God will do it. Well, that's what we've been saying since 2010. And the trend is keep becoming tougher. Now you have an opportunity to do something, to take action. And I urge you to take the action today. What my company offers is to help you succeed in a business system, where the product, the warehouse, location, adverts, and mentorship, all these things are taken care of in a lump sum. And you practically won't have to do anything. You won't have to leave your job. You won't have to leave your whatever you're doing. and then you can succeed. Right now, we have 1 million people in the business, or approximately 1 million people. And by 2030, that's in 2030, that you're saying that we're saying what is going to be the price of fuel and then what's going to be the price of the economy. 10 million people. It's envisaged that 10 million people, by that time 10 million people will be in this system we're talking about. So if you want to know more about the system, then we can move into the next step. But first you have to show an interest whether you want to move ahead or not. If you want to move ahead, then I can also share a second video where I explain how my company take care of the product, the shop, the location, and the mentorship program. My company has been there for the past, in Nigeria, they've been here for the past 12 years. And right now, 1 million people are in the system. 1 million. And people are giving, thousands of people are giving testimony in terms of they are now earning 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, 400,000, 500,000, 600,000 per month through the business system. It's the only way. Don't let anybody fool you. Business is the only way. And then we now have a platform where you can engage in this same system without you even going through the stress. If you want to have that better life, if you want to leave this feeling of apprehension about how am I going to take care of tomorrow? How will tomorrow be? How will I do it? How will my future be? How will I even achieve my dreams? If you want to have that emotion removed from you permanently, then make the decision. Make the decision today that, okay, I want to find out how is it that even this company, this man is talking about, how is it going to make it work? Then in the next video, we'll be able to let you understand how easy it is. This is real. I have testimonies of people on video. I can keep sharing it. If you request for them, then I can keep sharing them. People who these things have saved, children, old, young. It doesn't matter how old you are or how educated you are. Just key into the system and everything else is taken care of. Thank you very much. And thank the person that recommended you for this information.